All right. So as always, just find your most comfortable seat for you. If it doesn't feel right to sit cross-legged this morning, have a comfort of your own lounge. Find a chair to even sit in, or find something obviously to support underneath the knees. Find that height where your hips may be a little bit higher than your knees to support your knees. Comfortably closing the eyes down or having the eyes soft and downcast. And feeling into your hands, whether you would like to have your palms facing down or having the palms facing up, resting the back of the hands onto the thighs, either down or up, and lightly touching the tips of your thumb to your first finger, using this hand gesture this morning to set that little circuit within our body of the union of self with the union of all that is, and knowing that this union of inner and outer is going to help support us throughout our practice, throughout our days, because it's with the awareness of connection, inner and outer connection, through our yoga practice, through our practice of going into nature every day, into our gardens, wherever brings us and sparks that joy within our heart, that brings that connection to us, is another way to bring that resilience and the self-love back into our bodies. And from this, we know that when we come to meet again in person, we will continue to grow stronger and stronger within ourselves. So let's notice our physical body now. As always, because I'm not in the same room as you, I am absolutely giving you permission to do whatever feels right at any time. And even if I'm suggesting or cueing a particular pose, I am always inviting you to modify and adjust, or even just take a rest whenever you need to. So as you feel and listen into that physical body, notice if there's anything that is showing up for you, whether you're aware of an old injury or if anything has changed since I last saw you in person. So you acknowledge this in your body and you feel it, and you're guiding the awareness of your breath into this space. And then as you acknowledge your physical body, come back again into your breath, acknowledging the awareness of your breath and how your breath is guiding you this morning. Does it feel easeful? Does it feel light? Is there heaviness to your breath? Is there a sense of irregularity to your breath? Just notice what your breath is telling you. And again, as I guide the class, if my cueing of the breath does not suit you, you adapt and change so you're moving with your breath. And from the breath, let's acknowledge how we've been thinking this morning since that first moment of awareness of opening our eyes. Have the thoughts been clear, jumbled, happy, unhappy? Just generally, how has the mental and the emotional mind been coming into play for you? And maybe one of the hardest parts of yoga is the awareness of non-judging, of allowing and being open to just being present for what we're thinking, rather than being caught up into that narrative or thinking that is who we are, which we're not. And come back into the whole being. And by this I mean the awareness of your physical body, your breath, your thoughts, the feelings. And maybe inviting in, if it resonates with you, that connection to whatever form of source, God, universe, that throughout your day feels you are being surrounded and carried by. And perhaps invite this into your practice if that resonates for you. We'll take 3 breaths together, so the next time you breathe out, feel that you're emptying out completely. And as you breathe in, feel that you're inviting the breath into the whole circumference of your torso, front, sides, and back. And as you breathe out, perhaps having the mouth open and sighing the breath out if that feels right, or just breathing out through the nostrils. So 2 more rounds of inviting the breath as if you're filling your whole torso up, front, sides, and back. And as you breathe out, feel you're emptying out completely. Maybe the mouth is open and you're breathing out through the mouth, maybe even breathing through the nostrils. One more time in your own way, inviting, filling yourself up from base to top, all the way up, emptying out completely. Emptying out so we can allow ourselves to fill up again. And then when you're ready, just gently opening the eyes. So if you're on something high, like a bolster or a few bed pillows, maybe just come down to the top of a blanket. If you feel you still need to sit on more height, then of course you stay sitting onto your cushion. And taking, even though it's sunny where I am here in Mapua, it's still a bit chilly, shall we say, so feel free to keep your layers on. Let's start with some joint rotations, warming up the body. So legs are straight, arms are comfortably behind us. We'll start with the ankle joint. So as we inhale, let's lift the heels off the ground, and as you breathe out, gently pointing your feet away. So we'll continue with this on an inhale, maybe the heels lift off the floor, maybe not. And as you breathe out, gently feeling that stretch. And we'll keep moving like this. You might want to gaze down at your beautiful feet and ankles. And just noticing how they have been carrying you these last few days. Also starting to open into the back of the leg and into that front shin foot. So the next time you breathe in, pause, and as you breathe out, we're going to circle. As you inhale, draw the toes up towards you. As you breathe out, circling down and around. So we're going to continue in this direction. Do 2 more times, working into that ankle foot. And the next time your toes come all the way up, pause, and then in the opposite direction. So if working with the breath, on the inhale, we'll be drawing the toes up. On the exhale, around and down. If that doesn't feel right, just work with your own breath and focus on the physical movement. Or perhaps you'd like to combine both and see what that feels like. Let's do 1 more time, all the way around and up, and then relaxing the breath. Let's start on the left leg, interlace behind the back of your left thigh, hug it snugly into the chest, press the sit bones down, roll the shoulders up to the ears, squeeze, 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 and drop them down. So up, squeeze, squeeze, you can pucker your face if you like, drop it down, we'll do it 1 more time, squeeze, 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 and drop it down. Keeping the thighs stationary, we're going to inhale, extend into that heel, so we're opening into the knee joint. Breathing out, bend the knee and relax that heel down. So with your breath, when you feel yourself breathing in, initiate the movement. And when you feel yourself breathing out, hinging at that knee joint, relaxing the heel down. So we'll do 3 more times. Again, my breath and my movement may not suit your breath, so you work in the whole circumference of your breath with your movement. So we'll do 1 more time. And then we're going to hug that thigh into the chest. And we're going to hold on to that left foot with your right hand, drawing your toes up. Support that knee to come into the hip circles. We're going to draw the knee into the chest, take it behind, down and around. So let's get this feeling nice and flowing for us into our hip joint. And then bringing the breath in, on an inhale, draw the knee up, back, exhale, taking it down and around. And do 2 more times in this direction. You might want to imagine how your hip socket is moving inside. You're feeling into all the muscles around, all the way around. When the knee comes up, we'll pause and we'll reverse in the opposite direction. So your knee's going to go down, behind, and up. It might feel quite different when we reverse. So feel into those muscles around your outer hip and your buttocks and how they have changed since you've changed direction. So the breath would be on the inhale as you draw your knees up and in. Exhale, taking it down and around. So we'll do 2 more times, really warming into that hip, muscles around, all the way around. And then this time we're going to hug that thigh into the chest, plant the foot down, press your sit bones down, draw long through the spine, roll the shoulders to the ears and then roll the shoulders back and down. And then reverse. So you're going to draw your shoulder blades together, bring the shoulders up and then roll them forward and then extend that leg out. Give the leg a little bit of a flush out saying, love you, beautiful leg, thank you for doing that for me. And then hugging the right thigh and knee in, interlace behind, and let's see what this knee feels like. So on your inhale, you're going to extend the heel to the ceiling, and on your exhale, when you breathe out, bend the knee and relax the heel down. So we're going to continue with this, and we'll do another 3 more times. Just check in to make sure we're not falling into the habit of kind of leaning back or coming more into a posterior tilt. So we want to be sit bones down, rolling pubic bone towards the mat. Let's just do one more because I've lost count. Holding on to the foot, and then we'll do a little bit of hip rocking, and then we're going to come into the hip rotation. So we'll draw the knee up into the chest first, take it behind, down and around. So get this movement feeling comfortable on the side for you. And then as you bring the knee in, this is your inhale, exhale down and around. So inhale as the knee comes up, exhale down and around. Let's do 2 more times in this direction. And again, notice, how does this side feel compared to the other side? When the knee comes all the way around and up, we'll pause and we'll reverse. So we'll take the knee down, circle it round and up. Let's get the physical movement happening. And then on the inhale, the knee comes up, exhale down and around. So we'll do 2 more times, so 2 more times after this one. Again, really tuning in to that felt sensation of the hip bones, the socket, the muscles around. So this time as the knee comes back and up, we'll hug that thigh into the chest, plant the foot down, roll the shoulders up to the ears, take them back and down, and then reverse. Squeeze your shoulder blades together, then bring the shoulders up, and then roll them forward. Straighten the legs out. A few more flushes down there. Beautiful leg, thank you so much. And let's bring the soles of our feet together, warming into the hips with the butterfly. So feel into what's happy for your knee joints. Maybe it feels fantastic to bring the heels in. That might place quite a bit of pressure. Maybe bring the heels a bit further away. So feel into that ideal space. Hands onto ankles, roll the pubic bone into the mat. So we're going to draw up onto the ankles, lengthen the spine. This is an inhale. And on the exhale, we're going to hinge from the hip creases, soften elbows, and just lengthen out along the floor, chin to chest to where it feels right. On a breath in, curling the spine up, drawing up through the ankles, spine long. On an exhale, hinge from the hip creases, chin draws in and down, and you lengthen out along the leg, just to where it feels right for you. Let's keep this going 3 more times, breathing in, lengthening up, breathing out, coming out along, just to where it feels good. We'll do one more time. And coming all the way out. Breathing in to lengthen up, relax the breath. Bring the knees together and open the legs comfortably out to the side. So we need to make sure that in your space, if you take your arms behind you, you're not going to whack bookcases or things. So have the legs comfortably out, sit onto the height that suits you, heels down, drawing your toes up. If for any reason, if you're taking your arms out and it doesn't feel right into your shoulder joint, just shorten the lever and keep the fingertips onto the shoulders, and you can twist from here. Otherwise, arms out, thumbs as a reference, soften shoulder blades down, and the movement's coming from the upper thoracics. We're going to twist over to the right, look at the thumb behind you, come to the center, twist over to your left, come to the center. Now this movement is going to flow with your breath. So we're pressing the sit bones down, growing long through the spine. The twist is coming from the upper rib cage. Anchor your heels down, Draw the toes up towards your head. You might go fast, you might go slow. Allow the eye gaze to follow the movement, and you're looking at the thumbs behind you. So we're not trying to touch our toes because the twist is creating the movement in the upper back. Do one more time on each side, and then slowing down, relaxing the arms down. Then from here, bring the knees together, and let's come on to the hands and the knees. Now you might wish to put a blanket under your knees to support the knees, or you might be fine without it. See how you go. We're going to start back into pose of child. So maybe sit with a pillow or something behind the buttocks and heels if you need to. Stretch the arms out in front of you. Soften your forehead to the floor, or again maybe a cushion under the forehead. So if comfortable, actively lengthen your fingertips forward. Keep your arms active so your elbows are off the floor. Lightly press down through the fingertips and thumb, and lightly roll your armpits in towards each other. So have a sensation that you're sort of pressing your buttocks back into the heels. And then from here, feel that you're lengthening out through the crown of your head. As you draw your palms back towards you, so you're pressing down through fingertips and palms, but imagine kind of drawing yourself forward. Roll the armpits in. So on the breath, we're going to come up now onto hands and the knees. And as we breathe out, we're going to press the floor away, start to curl the tailbone under just a little bit, coming down, forearms, elbows, forehead to the mat. So inhale, coming up, Chakrasana, hands and knees. On an exhale, movement, tailbone begins to curl under, buttocks to heels, chest to thighs, forehead to the floor. One more time, inhale, coming up. On your exhale, coming back. Coming more into a classical cat on an inhale, hands and knees. Exhale stays, we curl under, tailbone under, curling the spine, chin to chest. Let's stay here on an inhale. And on your exhale, curling under. So when you breathe in, feel that you can draw your palms back towards you, shoulder blades slide down the back. And as you breathe out, press the floor away, chin to chest, navel to spine, drawing up through your pelvic floor. Keep this movement going with your breath. For the next 2 times, you might want to feel into that spine, feel into movement of the breath, up the spine and the movement of the spine with the breath down. Come back to the hands and the knees. From here, we're going to do thread the needle. So you might want to have a pillow underneath your head because we're going to take the ear towards the floor. So with the right arm beginning, on an inhale, raising your right arm up, follow the gaze. As you breathe out, the back of the arm, shoulder and ear to the mat or maybe onto a pillow. On an inhale, press the mat away, raising the arm up. On an exhale, threading the back of the arm, shoulder and ear either to the floor or maybe onto a mat. Keep going like this. We'll do 2 more times, helping to, again, open into that upper back, a little bit of a lower twist and helping into that shoulder and neck area. As we inhale to come all the way up, exhale, just plant that palm down. So to the left arm, as you breathe in, raising the arm up, breathing out, threading under, back of the arm, shoulder and ear onto a cushion or maybe to the floor. Breathe in to come up and breathe out, threading under. I'm going to do this 3 more times. Again, you can always choose at any time to just do 1 or 2, or maybe choose to do all of it. All the way under. Next time you breathe in, come all the way up. Use your out breath to plant all the way down. From here, where your palms are, let's take our elbows, forearms and wrists in a straight line, continuing that opening into that chest. So your hips stay on top of your knees. So as you breathe in, draw the palms back towards you. As you press fingertips down, sternum forward. And as you breathe out, press the floor away, curling into the upper back, chin to chest, navel to spine. Inhale, leading with the sternum. Shoulder blades slide down the back, draw the palms back towards you. Breathing out, press the floor away, chin to chest, curling under. Let's do 2 more times so we get this beautiful sense of opening and release into the shoulders, upper back. 1 more time. And then come back up onto the hands and the knees. So from here, what we're going to do is from the hands and the knees, press back into pose of child. And then slowly coming up. So we're sitting either with the buttocks back onto the heels or onto a cushion, or if it doesn't suit your knees, maybe staying high. So from here, let's take the fingertips into the center of the chest, just beneath the collarbones, and kind of sweep across. Let's relax the breath, open the arms out to the side. I'm going to curl into the upper back, chin to chest, meeting the palms. We're going to raise the arms by the ears, and then we're going to plant our right hand down beside us and come over onto that right, bringing the left arm over our ear. We're going to raise both arms up by the ears and plant our left hand down to the floor by our hip and coming over with the right arm super glued to the ear. We're going to raise up, both arms up, and then we're going to plant the fingertips onto the floor. From here, we're going to draw the shoulder blades together and feel that we're lifting up into that sternum, kind of like a mini cobra, and then coming back. So from here, with the breath, inhale, open the arms out to the side. Exhale, curling into the upper back. On an inhale, raising the arms up. Exhale, planting your right hand down. Take a breath in to lengthen. Exhale, come over to your right. When you feel yourself breathe in, raise both arms up. Feel the exhale as you plant your left hand down. Continue to inhale to lengthen, and as you breathe out, come over to your left. When you feel yourself breathe in, both arms come up. On an exhale, planting the fingertips behind you, draw your shoulder blades together like a mini cobra, broadening into those collarbones. Inhale, coming back, and exhale, slide your arms forward into extended pose of child, forehead to the mat. Breathe into the hands and the knees as you look forward. Breathe out, curling under. Cat curl under. Breathe into the hands and the knees and press back into pose of child on your out breath. Keep the arms by the ears as you breathe in, raising the arms by the ears. Breathing out, hands into the center of the chest. This time you're going to interlace the fingers, and as we breathe in, we're going to bring the hands underneath the chin, bring the elbows up high, and then breathing out, curl into your back, chin to chest. Turn the palms away from you as you breathe in, arms by the ears. And breathing out, releasing the hands behind you. Interlace your fingers, and as you breathe in, elbows generously bent, opening into the upper chest. On an out breath, bend the elbows, release the hand, bring them forward, palm together again, chin to chest. Breathing in, raising up. Pose of child on the out breath, come forward. Float up to hands and knees as you breathe in. Breathing out, cat curl under. Into the hands and the knees, and curl the toes under to down dog as you breathe out, lifting your hips up and back. Stay here with the breath being natural and flowing freely. Just check that we're pressing the mat away, the elbows are soft, armpits rolling in. Let's bend the knees into the chest, keep pressing the floor away, lift your sit bones up, hug the front of the ribs in, and then begin to soften the heels down. From here, come down to the hands and the knees, step your right foot forward, and just checking in that knee is on top of your ankle, facing over that second or third toe, staying low here, and then pressing up onto a low lunge. So let's keep the right hand onto that thigh, press your back foot down, with your left arm on the inhale, raising the left arm up. And as you breathe out, press that front foot away. So if you're going to straighten it, it'll stay slightly bent, bring the arm down. So as you inhale, extend into that low lunge, knee on ankle, bring the arm by the ear. As you breathe out, press the foot away. So if you're going to straighten it, it's going to stay slightly bent, arm comes down. Movement of your breath on your inhale. And as you breathe out. One more time to hold the pose, breathing in, hold the pose, breathe naturally. And then relax that left arm down. Come back to the hands and the knees. Step your left foot forward. Left palm onto the thigh, coming up. Check kneecap over second and third toe. Back foot presses down, front heel presses down. Breathe in, raise your right arm up. Float it up. As you breathe out, start to straighten that leg, but it'll stay with a generous bent, arm comes down. Inhale, come extending into that low lunge. On an out breath, float it down. So feel when you breathe in, and then the breath initiates the movement. Feel when you begin to breathe out, complete the movement. Let's do that one more time with your breath on your inhale, on your exhale. And then we'll come and we'll hold on the side, breathing naturally for a couple of rounds of our breath. Plant both hands down, relaxing your breath. Come back to the hands and the knees. Palms are underneath shoulders. Bring your hands a little bit forward and a little bit out to the side. From here, we're going to do a cat dip. So we're just working again to what feels right. Inhale, draw the sternum forward, look forward. As you breathe out, bring your body weight forward, bend the elbows, and cat dip, maybe a centimetre, maybe an inch, maybe down to the floor. Just work to what feels right. Breathing in, press up. Breathing out, chin to chest, curling under. So your cat dip might look like you're not moving, and that's okay. Breathing in to come forward. Breathing out, body weight slightly forward, bend the elbows, and just dip to where it feels right. Maybe you don't want to dip, and you don't have to. And breathing out, curling under. So your choice, one more time, breathing in, staying where you are, or maybe dipping a little bit, or come all the way down with me. Breathe in to press up. Breathing out to curl under. Come back to the hands and the knees, curl the toes under. Lift the hips up and back into down dog. Bend the knees. And let's step up to the top of our mat. Feet facing forward, about hip width apart. Send your weight back into the heels. Kneecaps facing forward. Hands onto the hips. And then press for your feet to come all the way up. From here, dive your arms wide and high overhead. Bring the palms into the centre of the chest and just staying there with the eyes gently closed or having the gaze downcast. Checking in that you have an even sense of weight through the 3 points of contact, into the heel, the ball, the pad underneath your big toe, pad underneath little toe, tailbone lengthening down, chin slightly drawing in and back. Become aware of your beautiful breath. So we're going to go into some half Surya Namaskaras, moving slowly with your breath as we open our eyes if they were closed. On an inhale, sweep your arms wide and high. Maybe follow the gaze or look straight ahead. On an out breath, bend the knees, hinge forward from the hips, hands to the shins. Inhale to a half lift. Exhale, bend the knees, sit back to an imaginary chair. Inhale, press for your feet to come all the way up. On an out breath, hands into the heart space. We're going to do it 2 more times. On an inhale, sweep your arms wide and high. On exhale, bend the knees, sit bones send back, hinge from the hip creases, hands to shins. On an inhale to a half lift, press your face away from the floor. On an out breath, sit back. On an in breath, come all the way up. Out breath into the heart space. 1 more time. Breathing in and up. Breathing out to a forward fold. Breathing into a half lift. Out to sit back. In to come all the way up. Out into the heart space. Continue, we're going to come all the way down to a forward fold. So breathing in and up. Out to a forward fold. Hands onto the shins as you breathe into a half lift. Out breath, come all the way down. Relaxing the breath. Let's take the right leg back first. Take the knee on the mat. Relaxing the hands down. And then coming up so your palms are on top of your thighs. You can stay here or you can bring both arms in. Breathing in, raising the arms up or keeping the hands onto the thighs. Breathing out, press the foot away as if you're going to straighten it, take the arms down. Breathing in, extend that knee on top of the ankle, facing over second or third toe. Breathing out, press the mat away. Keep the knee steady. One more time, breathing in. And breathing out. Breathing in to come up and hold. Relax the breath, breathing actually, holding it here. And then from here, take your hands onto the floor. Keep your right hand onto the floor and reach your left arm forward as if you're trying to reach a few inches ahead of you. Follow that gaze from the shoulder blade, reaching forward and then raise the arm up. Turn a palm behind you and try to swim as if you're swimming through really thick glue. So you're going to reach your arm forward, keep reaching from that shoulder blade, then lift up. Turn the palm away and sweep as if it's really thick glue, feeling that you're really working into those shoulder muscles. Reach forward from that shoulder blade. Reach, reach, reach. Reach up. Turn the palm away. Sweep the arm as if it's thick glue trying to come all the way through. Stay here. Curl the back toe under. Keep the knee on the mat or lift the side knee off the mat. Press back into that heel. Draw the face away from the ground. Option to transition from hands and knees to down dog, or the option from here, sweep your front foot back into down dog. Come down to the hands and knees, step your right foot forward. Check in, knee on ankle, facing second and third toe. Press through the foot to come up. Stay here the whole time, or relax the arms down, or bringing the arms on the inhale up. Exhale, press through that foot as if you're going to straighten it, bring the arms back. Inhale, extend down into a low lunge, raising the arms up. Press the back foot down. Exhale, press the floor away. 2 more times. Inhale, so remember you don't have to bring the arms into play. You could keep them on your hips as well. 1 more time to hold with the breath flowing freely. And then taking the hands down either side. Option stay here, or curl the toes under, lift the thigh knee off the mat. Press your face away from the floor and press back into that heel. Lift your hips up a bit higher. Staying here for a few more breaths before we come back down to work into the arms. And then coming back down, and from here we're working onto the arms now. Left hand stays down, right arm reaches forward. Reach forward from that shoulder blade, raise the right arm up, turn the palm away from your wrist. Try to sweep through thick glue. And then reach forward, reach forward, reach forward, lift it up, turn the palm away, sweep it forward. Inhale as you come up, exhale, kind of dragging through thick glue. Let's do 1 more time. So I want you to really feel that you're strengthening all those muscles onto that shoulder joint and around the shoulder blade. And then now again, option hands and knees to transition to down dog, or lifting the back thigh up and bring that front foot back into down dog. Bend your knees and let's walk our hands backwards. So it's kind of like a bear crawl backwards. Have your feet facing forward. Shift weight into the heels. Sit back onto this imaginary stool. Hands onto the hips. Press for your feet to come all the way up. And then from here, keep your left leg on the back of the mat. Bend the knee a little bit and step your right leg out to the side like a railway track. Just adjust that stance so you feel really stable in your own pelvis and hips. And then bending that knee, the front knee, on top of your ankle, check in that it's facing over your second and third toe. Press into that back heel. Then start to straighten that leg without locking it. Relax the arms down. So as we breathe in this time, we're bending the knee onto the ankle, make the goalpost arms, squeeze the shoulder blades together and down. And as you breathe out, straighten that leg, bring the arms down. So that inhale, coming into a modified warrior 1 with goalpost arms. Breathing out, straightening the leg, bringing the arms down. Let's do that 2 more times on the inhale and on your exhale. Coming up, this time we're going to hold the pose but allow the breath to flow freely. Staying here, press into the back heel, draw your shoulder blades together and down, and imagine the back of your hands are pressing into an imaginary wall. Imagine your fingertips and your fingernails and your thumbnails are pressing back into a wall as you hug the front of your ribs in, press down through that front heel. Now imagine you're squeezing your inner thighs in. Right, relax the arms down. Take your hands onto your hips. Now I want you to pick up that back foot so you're on the ball of your foot. Shift your weight forward and slide so you're on your tippy toes, so you're on your toenails. And hinging, either stay here for your balance, keep the hips level, or maybe start to raise that back leg just to where it feels right. Again, those toes might stay on the mat. You can choose to keep your hands on your hips, choose to come out and keep your toes on the floor, or maybe the arms come behind you. Press the floor away. And then raise the arms up in front of you, or keep the hands onto your hips as you bring the back leg back, lift that thigh knee up, place that foot down, and then just do a little bit of a circle because we've been standing on one foot, and then the other way. So we're going to take the left foot to the front, step your right leg back, a little bit out to the side, heel down, toes in, front knee nice and strong and sturdy over that second or third toe. Start to straighten that leg without locking it, relax your arms down. So here we go on this side. On the inhale, coming up, goalpost arms. Exhale, press off that front foot, coming back down. Let's continue with this movement on our inhale. Then we feel ourselves breathe out, finish the movement. Feel yourself breathe in, begin the movement. Feel when you breathe out, finish the movement. Inhale, coming up. We're going to hold this time. The breath is flowing freely. Press into that back heel. Press down through that front heel. Imagine you're pressing the back of your fingernails and your thumbs into a wall. Your shoulder blades are sliding down the back. Now check in that the front of your rib cage is hugging in, so we're not arching that lower back. A couple more breaths, and then relax the hands onto your hips. Pick up the back foot, so you're on the ball of your foot, and slide that back foot in. Now for your standing balance, you might just take the top of your toes onto the mat and maybe lean a little bit forward. Or maybe see what it feels like, keeping the hips pelvis level, maybe raising the back leg to where you can sustain it, to where it feels right. And if you want to have a play, maybe bring the arms on or keep the arms by onto the waist. Maybe keep the hands onto the waist, or bring the arms forward as you bring the back leg forward, thigh and knee level. Then relax the arms out and down and give the legs a good shake about. So from here, what we're going to do is we will be using a block and a strap. But to begin with, we're going to do the Nikki's favourite walk the line, walk the tightrope, but in the comfort of your own home. So for your standing balance, we have one foot, heel, toe, heel, toe. It needs to be right in front of the other. So first of all, find that straight line. Make sure your back foot's not turned out. Exactly in front of the other. Now just check in we're not locking one knee or the other knee. Arms down. That's it. Now really feel your feet, the whole surface area of your feet. Find a focus point. And again, as always, we're telling our brain via the awareness of feeling our feet and our body where we are on this mat. Now, if it feels right for you, I invite you, through focusing on your out breath, to close your eyes. And slowly open them. And just notice what happened to your breath. Did it go, see how that goes? Bend the knees. The legs shake about, bring the other foot forward. Okay, so really check in that back foot is straight. Make sure not locking that front knee. Now really feel the whole surface area of your feet, the heels, inner and outer arches, toes. Try not to death grip the mat. That's it. Feel the spine long. Notice if one foot's kind of wobbling more than the other. And choose maybe not to close your eyes, but just become aware of how your body feels on this side with the balance. Breathe out and maybe close your eyes just for a couple of breaths. And then begin to open them and come out. I don't know about you, but one side definitely is like, whoa, compared to the other. Okay, using the block now. And if you don't have a chair handy, go find a kitchen chair, if you have one. If you don't, then maybe you have wall space. My wall is not free. And chairs are good. I love chairs. Okay, so we're going to position ourselves so that our left hand is on the chair and we're going to be using our right foot to step onto a block. Of course, if you don't have a block, hopefully a very thick dictionary of some kind. I'll just come back a little bit. Okay, so stepping onto the block. Now let's just check, as always, that we're not kind of going into that habit of like kind of slouching on one side, you know, the holding the heavy bag on one side. So lifting up, keeping the hips level, keeping option, hand onto the chair or fingertip onto the chair, or even back of hand is quite, in fact, let's all do that. If you have the chair there, back of your hand. Now that's in itself is a balance. It's if you're barely touching the chair. If that doesn't feel right, then sure, palm down. Now, either keep it there as we bring the thigh and the knee level, keep your hand there, maybe you want to turn it down, or without moving the torso, just use the strength of the hip flexors to draw your thigh and knee in. Stay here, or option, bringing your outside arm over the ear. I know mine's disappeared, but it is there. Option to come out at any time. And if we wish to, maybe sending that thigh and knee back, holding onto that foot, lengthening through that kneecap, raising the arm up, lengthening tailbone down, and then slowly releasing the arm down, bend that supporting leg, maybe the chair's there, coming back down, giving that leg a nice little shake about. While we're here, before we go to the other side, again, hopefully you have a chair there. If you don't, you could always do the down dog on the floor. But what we're going to do is taking the hands onto the chair this way. Hang on, because you might have different heights of chairs. All right, keep it simple, shall we? Bring it round. Hand onto the chair, step back, so your hips are on top of your ankles, knees soft, roll the armpits in, bring the ears level with your arms, send the weight up through the sit bones to the ceiling, shift the weight a little bit back through the heels, armpits roll in, try to drag the chair back towards you, hug the front of the ribs up into the back. Should be feeling a nice little opening into that back leg. And as you try and draw that chair back towards you, you should be feeling a nice lengthening through the spine, hopefully. Again, if you don't have a chair handy and you've got a wall handy, you could be doing this against the wall. Okay, bend the knees, up, come all the way up. All right, let's do the other side. So I'm just going to flip the chair around this way. And we're having our left foot onto the block, indeed. And again, hips level. So as soon as you take that supporting leg off, you've got to really strengthen and use these outer muscles here to kind of lift yourself up and keep the hips level. So you can have your hand, fingertips, or if you put the back of your hand on the chair, rather than trying to fall into it, kind of feel that you're barely touching it. If that doesn't feel right, of course, turn the hands down. Keep the hand there the whole time. Or maybe raise the thigh and knee in. And either again, maybe go, oh, I'm just going to keep my leg down. See what it's like to draw that thigh and knee in without drawing the torso forward. Keep the torso long. Then maybe raising the arm up. Stay here, or send that thigh and knee back, holding on to the top of the foot, draw the knees in, lengthen from hip down thigh out through kneecap. Maybe the arm by the ear doesn't feel comfortable and it wants to come back down to your hip. Press back into that foot. Make sure you're not locking that knee. And then as we come out, bringing the arm down, relaxing that foot, placing that foot down, shake the legs, and let's do that nice lengthening of the back of the legs and the spine through the chair. So we're coming back, hips on top of the ankles, knees soft. And it's kind of like as you soften your knees, your sit bones come up to the ceiling. You imagine you're trying to lean back. There's kind of like this chair behind you that you want to sit on. And you're rolling your armpits in and drawing. It's like you're trying to drag the chair back towards you. And then bend the knees and come all the way up. So thank you so much, chair. You can go off there for the moment. And find your strap or scarf or necktie, whichever one. All right. So just do a little bit of side opening. So your feet are maybe a bit wider than hip width apart. Take hold of your scarf or strap, whatever you've got. Take it a little bit wider apart. Oh, and good side note, you know how the in martial arts, they have those, you know, the ties that go around. Really good thickness for straps. Good offshore hunting. Okay, raise your arms up. I know mine's disappeared, but I'm overhead like this, okay? Now a little bit of traction. So slide your shoulder blades down the back, soften your chin in and down, soften your shoulder blades into the back. Now imagine you're trying to, let's say about 20 or 30% of your strength, of your maximum strength, you're gently pulling the strap apart. Now press down through your feet, press down into the heels, press down into the balls of your feet. Now, the inner arches of your feet, it's a bit of a mind trick here, inner arches of your feet, try to suck these up. You should be feeling a lot of things having to support and switch on and turn on. Now from here, take a beautiful breath in. Come over to your left as you breathe out, gently drawing the strap apart at the same time. As you breathe in, press down for your feet to come up, still drawing the strap apart. As you breathe out, come over to your right, still drawing the strap apart, just 20%, breathing in to come up. Do one more time on each side. Engaging the strap, drawing it apart a little bit, press down for your feet to come up, coming over to the side, drawing the strap apart, coming all the way up. Now this time you're going to bend your elbows, draw the chin in and back, and draw the strap down to the base of the neck. Still trying to draw the strap apart a little bit. Hug the front of your ribs in, and then as you try to draw the strap apart just a little bit, whoa, raise your arms up, and then let them go. All right, beautiful. Come back and find 2 blocks again, or 2 books of some kind. We're going to do a standing twist. So I need you to arrange yourself so you can see me, because you're going to take your legs out wide. So you're facing the long end of your mat, and your feet are facing in. Your feet are turned in, yeah, and the blocks are positioned. If you were to turn the blocks or your books on the side, positioned by your feet, because that's where we're going to be taking our hands. Right, so let's start with the hands onto the hips and just keep the knees nice and soft. So we're going to come into parallel to the floor, into a forward fold. Keep pressing your face away from the floor. And then bring your left hand over to the block to the right. You might need to bring it away from the foot. If it doesn't fit for you to bring your hand on top of the block, which is in front of your foot, just slide it back to where it feels right. Right hand is onto the sacrum. And you're going to open your chest and your rib cage out and up to the right. You can choose to keep that hand on the sacrum, or you can raise that right arm up at shoulder height and follow the gaze where it is comfortable for you, which might mean that you're looking down at the floor, over the horizon, or maybe gazing up. Now don't jump into that block, lift up through the fingertips. Then take the right hand back to the sacrum, breathe in, press for your feet to come all the way up. Soften the breast. So we're going to go to the other side. So remember, not everyone might be happy to come all the way over and twist from here. You might want to be drawing your block back to make it accessible. I'll leave that up to you to feel into what's right. So here we go. Take a breath in, breathing out parallel to the floor. Soften the breath. Right hand onto a block, either in front of that left foot or bring it under your face. Left hand onto the sacrum. Turning to open chest and rib cage out and up to the ceiling, up to the left, and then choosing to keep the hand on the sacrum or maybe raising the arm up at shoulder height, and just lift out of that block, so not dumping down into it. Lift up through your fingertips. Gaze where it suits your neck, and then the top palm comes back down to the sacrum. Look down to the floor, press for your feet, inhale, come all the way up, and just relaxing the breath here. Then bending the knees so you can access your blocks, and just choosing the height. We're going to come to a forward fold, so maybe in the blocks or your books are high, on the side, down low, or maybe you'll find you don't even need these when you come down. Okay, let's see what happens. Hands onto the hips. So inhale to lengthen, exhale, come parallel to the floor, soften the breath, choose to stay parallel to the floor and find the height that suits you. So your palms are underneath your shoulders. A nice softening through the back of the knees. So press your face away from the floor. So you're strengthening the back line of the neck muscles. Draw your chin in and down. And feel that the weight's coming a little bit back into the heels. Now lift your sit bones up to the ceiling. Hug the front of the ribs into the back. Hug the sides of the waist in to not dumping the contents of our tummy to the mat. Choose to stay parallel, or maybe lowering the blocks and drawing the blocks to the inside the heels, or maybe you taking your hands onto the floor. Soften the elbows, and if it feels right today, come into your forward fold, lengthening the crown of your head towards the floor. So the option is to stay parallel to the floor, or to come to the height of the forward fold that suits you. So we're wanting to feel we can release the back of the neck completely if we're coming to the forward fold. And the third option, if it's comfortable for the shoulder joints and we feel we wish to extend the shoulders a bit more, sometimes it feels amazing, other times it just doesn't feel right. Maybe interlace the fingers and raising your arms over the back of the head. And again, some days it might feel great, and other days it might be, I don't even need to go here at all. So just coming to what feels right for you, staying where you are, and maybe bringing the arms over the back of the head. And if the arms are over the back of the head, let's soften them back to the buttocks, find the floor or the blocks, and let's come all the way back up and neck parallel to the floor. And then let's bend the knees and neck hips are facing forward. Take your hands onto the thighs, press for your feet and come all the way up. And just walk your feet in. We're going to do a standing squat and have a little bit of fun, because you know that I like that. So we're going to turn the feet out. So we're going to come into a standing squat, and we're going to interlace our fingers, put our forefingers out. I'm going to do like a chopping. And when we do the chopping, we're going to be coming down for our squat. When we squat, make sure that when we come down, the knees are over your second and third toe, tailbone down. And when we chop, we don't just go bleh and let the arms go. It's kind of like we hold it there. And I like sounds, so I can make a sound. You can make a sound if you want to, or maybe not. So we're going to do 5 times. So inhale, raise your arms up. Exhale, ha. Breathing in, breathing out. Inhale, inhale. Let's do one more time. Let's just let all that, whatever you want to let out, and out. All right, staying here, hands onto the thighs, press down through the heels. Stay here. Option, lift your heels off the mat. Remember, this is just an option. Turn those muscles on the corner of your mouth up. There we go. And then come down and press for your feet. And come all the way in. Give the legs a bit shake about. So because we had a lot of external, we're going to bring it in internal. So let's take the weight into your left foot. Bend your left knee and cross your right thigh, open the top, turn the toes out to the side and sit down into this nice high stool. Squeeze your inner thighs in. Take your arms out to the side and bring your right elbow underneath your left and either back of hands or maybe palms meet. Bring your elbows as high as you comfortably can. Sit back down, straight down, so we're not leaning forward, we're sitting down. And maybe keep the toes on the floor, or maybe hover the toes a little bit off the floor. Stay here, squeeze your inner elbows in, squeeze your inner thighs in, lift your elbows high. Sitting down, breathe, smile, wish goodwill. And then coming out, up, and unwinding. Right, shake the legs to the other side. So we're taking the weight into your right foot, bending the right knee, and crossing your left thigh over the top, turning the toes to the outside, onto the mat, and sitting straight down to an appropriate height that suits our knees. From here, taking the arms out to the side, and then crossing your left elbow underneath. So you're doing the other side, back of hands or palms, bring the elbows up high, sit down a little bit lower if it feels right, and maybe hover the toes off the floor, or maybe keep them on the floor. Focus on your out breath. A few more breaths here. Squeeze everything in. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And then unwinding, whoop, and then come all the way out. Give the legs a good shake about. And then from here, come to the top of your mat, to come down to the mat. Bring the palms into the heart space. Inhale, sweep your arms wide and high. Breathing out to a forward fold. Right leg, as you breathe in, take it back. Breathe out, left leg back, down dog. Breathe in, come down to the hands and the knees. Breathe out, press back to pose of child. Your arms might be forward, or they might be behind you. Staying into pose of child for a few more breaths. Finding the version of pose of child that fits you. Maybe you need to have a cushion underneath your forehead or behind the knees or buttocks. While we're in pose of child, let's infuse the awareness of our breath into our lower back. A sense of warmth and spaciousness here. A couple more breaths here. And then slowly coming all the way up. Let's come down just to a couple of mini cobras. So come down onto your tummy. Bring your hands where it's comfortable, either side of your chest or to the sides of the ribs, just feeling what feels right. Fingers spread wide apart, elbows draw into the sides. Press down through the top of your feet, press your pubic bone into the mat. Your forehead is on the mat. And on the inhale, drawing the sternum forward, look down at the floor, draw the palms back towards you, squeeze your shoulder blades down. On out breath, float all the way back down. So as you breathe in, lifting head, chest, sternum forward, palms draw back, elbows in, pubic bone presses down, top of feet press down. On your exhale, coming down. 3 more times, or rest it out whenever you need to. Coming up on your inhale, pause at the peak, exhale, coming down, pause at the end of your exhale. 2 more times, or again, just resting out whenever it feels right. Resting your forehead on the mat, bring the arms beside you so your palms are facing down. So the option is to keep your forehead on the ground the whole time and just to raise one leg at a time. Or the other option would be when we come up, we'll be raising head, chest, arms and both legs. So breathing in, raising head, chest, arms and maybe both legs, or maybe you're just raising one leg at a time. Lengthen your fingertips back as you breathe out, coming down. So if you're doing the single leg, we'll be swapping over, breathing in, coming up. Remember the option is to keep the forehead on the ground as well. On the out breath to come down. And do 2 more times or rest out whenever. Breathing in, coming up. Feel that you're lifting from that navel center up, away. And breathing out, calming back down, floating back down. One more time, breathing in and up. Breathe out, come down. And then let's move into flapping fish. This is where we bring one forearm on top of the other. Draw one knee up to the side. Bring the hands over and just rest our head. Maybe close the eyes. Just feel into that little sense of inner strength and power we've built up through just a few of those back extensors, connecting into that strength at the navel center. One more breath here. Straighten your leg. Let's roll over onto our back. Come down and hug your knees into your chest. You might want to put a pillow behind your neck or head. Hug your knees into your chest. Do some circles. Feeling that massaging across the back. Circles into the opposite direction. Hug the knees back into the chest. Upanasana. So as you breathe in, press the knees away, feeling that gentle curve created in your lower lumbar. Breathing out, hug thighs and knees into the chest. So we'll keep this movement on your inhale. The knees press away. And when you breathe out, hug the thighs and knees back in. Keep breathing out, keep breathing out. Let's do 2 more times. The inhale, we're going to focus on the exhale. Breathing out for as long as you comfortably can. Keep breathing out, keep emptying out, emptying out. And then all of a sudden you just feel that you need to breathe in and the knees are going to float away. And then feel that we can comfortably lengthen the exhale. Exhale, 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 exhale. And just stay here. Breathing naturally, but hugging the thighs and knees into the chest. And then from here, we're going to roll over and find either a bolster or a couple of cushions. We're going to move into a supported bridge pose. So feet are about hip width apart. Lift your buttocks up and sliding maybe 2 or 3 bed pillows, or maybe you have a bolster or a couple of nice cushions to elevate and just sink down. So this is our option. We're all going to stay here for a few breaths so we can experience whether we want to stay into a bridge pose. Another option, see what it feels like if we were to straighten our legs out along. If there's any sensations that don't feel right, then just come back into a bridge pose with the knees bent, feet facing forward. Your arms might be down, up to the side, or maybe even overhead. So again, the choice is to feel into the body, what is it asking for. I'm going to be here for a few more breaths, either in the bridge pose supported, or more of this long pontoon shape. Connecting the breath back into the diaphragmatic breath, feeling the awareness of the abdomen filling and expanding, sides of waist expand, lower back fills. When we breathe out, emptying, feeling the abdomen empty out completely, sides of waist hugging, squeeze that last drop of air out, squeeze a bit more out, and then allow like a self-inflating mattress to fill in the full circumference. From here, if the legs are straight, we'll bend the knees. And we can stay in a bridge pose. If it feels right, we're going to take the legs to the ceiling. So see what feels right for you. Draw the knees into the chest, legs to the ceiling. So maybe you've got 2 or 3 cushions underneath you, or a bolster. And again, taking the legs to the ceiling. If it doesn't feel right for any reason, stay in a bridge pose. Again, find the placement where your arms are comfortable. Connect back into the breath in both sides of your nostrils now as we were focusing our breath. A few more rounds of our breath here, focusing and feeling the rhythm of our breath in and out of our nostrils. As you tune into your breath, can we invite a sense of softness to our breath? Imagine we're kind of sitting just behind our breath, so we're allowing the breath to breathe us, and we're observing it. We're not trying to get in the way of it. Just allowing the breath to be. All right, you can feel free to stay there the whole time. Otherwise, hug the knees into the chest, plant your feet onto the mat, lift your buttocks up, slide the bolster out, come back down, knees into the chest, and roll all the way over to the side. We'll do a couple of minutes of some pranayama, some breathing before we come back down. So this is the time where you might want to go, oh, maybe a sweatshirt might be nice, or another blanket, or maybe I'd like to practice my pranayama, my breathing, sitting onto a chair. So tune into what feels right for you. And when you're feeling supported in your knees and your hips, we'll come back. All right, so what we're going to do today is we will continue with practicing the 9-count breath for some of us who have done it before, just to keep building that awareness of increasing volume of the inhale, holding our breath in, breathing out, letting it out, and holding the breath out. And then we'll balance that with a few rounds of Bhramari, the hummingbird breath. Beautiful way just to bring that sense of support and nourishment into our system. So invitation to close your eyes or have them downcast. Feel the breath into the abdomen. The next time you breathe out, empty out completely. Now breathe into the abdomen for a count of 1. And keep breathing and draw the breath into the upper chest for a count of 2. Hold, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe down and out for 7. Empty out completely. Draw the navel up and in. Hold the breath. 8, 9. Breathe to the navel for 1. Keep breathing and draw the breath into the upper chest and hold. 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe out the nostrils for 7. Empty it out. Draw the navel up and in. Hold the breath out. 8, 9. Breathe into navel for 1. Draw the breath up for 2 and hold. 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe out and down for 7. Get it all out. Hold it out. 8. Hold it out. 9. Breathe in for 1. Draw it out for 2. Hold. 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe out for 7. Get it all out. Empty out completely. Hold out. 8. Hold out. 9. Breathe into navel for 1. Upper chest 2. Hold. 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe out for 7. Get it all out. Hold it out. 8. Hold it out. 9. Navel for 1. Upper chest 2. Hold. 3, 4, 5, 6. Out for 7. Hold out for 8. Hold out for 9. Breathe in for 1. Breathe in for 2. Hold. 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe out for 7. Hold out 8. Hold out 9. Breathe in for 1, 2. Hold. 3, 4, 5, 6. Out 7. Hold out 8. Hold out 9. Releasing the 9 count breath. Return awareness of the breath into the nostrils. Begin to follow the breath up and down both sides of your nostrils. As I describe the hummingbee breath, and then we'll practice a few rounds together. When we begin, we're going to be drawing the breath from the base of our spine all the way up to the top on an inhale. And when we breathe out, we're going to be taking the forefinger and middle finger, place it into that ear flap to plug it up. And we're going to be humming the breath out and down and listening and feeling the sound and the vibration of sound traveling down our spine back into the base. And then we release the hands to breathe in, to draw the breath up, plugging forefinger, middle finger into the ear flap, humming the breath out and down, listening, feeling the sound of the hum. And we'll do 7 rounds of our own hummingbee breath. So let's take a beautiful breath out. And as you breathe in, draw the breath up from base to the top, forefinger, middle finger in, and hum your breath out and down. And then you release your hands, take a next breath in and continue. Keep on practicing. One more round in your own time. Relaxing the hands down when you complete, keeping the eyes closed if comfortable. Just feeling into the effects of this very, very short practice that we've just done. A hummingbee breath is a wonderful way to use at any time of your day or evening to bring a sense of calmness into the system preferably before we have completely flipped the lid. Try to bring it back before then. And it's definitely a way to nourish and support. So let's come into beautiful Shavasana now. So find your pose of relaxation, lying maybe on your back. Perhaps find some pillows under the knees and behind the head. Or you might feel that you want to put your legs up a wall, or find a position where you feel you can completely release, be supported and be warm. And then I invite you to cover yourself up with blankets. Whether you want to have another pillow on your stomach to bring a sense of nourishment and support. Or maybe a pillow onto the chest is another nice way to have a nice sense of support here. Legs slightly apart if you're on your back, arms a little bit out to the sides of the body. And if comfortable, turning your palms to face up and touching the tips of your thumb to your first finger, feeling and connecting into the circuit that this creates of union. And now let's run through the back of our body like a little scanner, feeling each part of our body that's in contact with the mat and the floor beneath it. Notice any parts of the body that feel heavier or lighter into the floor. And inviting with our out breath now a sense of heaviness across the whole body to be received into that floor, knowing that we're held and supported. Sense of nourishment, knowing that we can let everything go on our out breath. And then come to the front of your body, the parts that are above the floor. Imagine what lightness feels like in your body, and invite a sense of lightness to be throughout your whole body with each out breath. Lightness, no need to hold on to anything within our body, but trusting and allowing that that out breath will carry us lighter and lighter. Then come back and feel your natural breath again, and allow the breath to deepen, allowing a sense of subtleness to your breath. Now begin to listen to the sounds that are just outside the room you're in. And like a radar, shift your awareness further and further out, picking the sound up and letting it go and shifting to the next sound. Keep shifting your awareness from sound to sound. From the outside sounds, come closer to listening to any sounds within your room, within the space you're in. Closer still into your breath. How subtle can we perceive the sound of our breath? And if we were to journey with our imagination into our body, what would the sound of our heart sound like? And if the heart was beating to be its full potential, what sound would that feel like to us? And imagine that the very blood within our veins we could hear. And imagine we're infusing the awareness of health and vitality into our blood. What would that sound like? And come back into the awareness of the bones, your skeleton. And scanning throughout your body, feel the strength, the density of your bones, how strong they are, how they carry you each day. Now shift into your tendons, your ligaments, around your joints. The amazing ability to be able to move and create the support around our joints. Now feel into the muscles of your body. Explore throughout your body the incredible strength of your muscles. How one can shorten and one can lengthen. How all of a sudden we seem to be able to turn one way and then the other way. Now come to your skin. Feel the covering of the skin upon your body. The amazing skin. How we can invite the nourishment and the health of the sun into our skin. How we can feel the life-giving force of the air onto our skin. Come back to your breath. And then now settle your breath into the space between your eyebrows and invite a sense of a soothing breath in and out of the eyebrow center. Feel that when you breathe in, you're drawing your breath through the eyebrow center right into the center of your head now. And as you breathe out, you're breathing out of the center of your head out through the eyebrow center. And continue to feel into this. Inviting the most soothing breath in and out of the space for you. And then letting go of the breath awareness here and settle the awareness into the space of your mind, the space behind your closed eyes. And gaze up as if you're looking behind your closed eyes towards the sky. And remember, our mind can be like the sky, expansive and all-encompassing. And clouds can come and go, as do our thoughts and our feelings, pictures, patterns and colours within this space. But I invite you to become the witness of your mind space. I invite you with complete detachment to observe all the contents without analysing or feeling we have to become involved. Be the sky and keep looking. Notice if you're becoming caught up in a feeling, a thought, or if you've wandered off, come back, be the sky, be the blank canvas, and allow things to come and go. And then gently and slowly withdraw the awareness that you have been watching the mind space. So know you can return to the space any time that you need to. But for now, let's come back to our breath. Allow the breath to deepen. Now come back and feel that physical body, the layers, the strength, the health and the vitality that is your body. And from this place, feel the awareness of your body in space of the room you're in. And invite you now to stretch your arms overhead. Take a beautiful stretch in each direction, kind of like as if you're just waking up, and it just feels so amazing just to stretch and move in any way that feels right. And then roll over to whatever side and come up, and we'll close together. We'll do the eye palming. So whenever you're right, upright, we'll find our palms and we'll bring them together And we'll just keep on rubbing for a little bit, get lots and lots and lots of warmth. And if your hands are cold, rub a bit more. Rub, rub, rub. All right, let's cup our palms over our eyes and just kind of drink that warmth in. Just stay here for a little bit and kind of visualize just how you want to move, how you want to be today. Just give yourself that permission. Bring the palms into the heart space. And as always, let's bring that gratitude back into ourselves, bring the awareness and thankfulness back into ourselves. And then we're going to visualize someone now who we know may need some extra love. I'm going to send them lots and lots and lots of love. And then we're going to open our arms out wide, open our eyes, and then we're going to give ourselves a big hug because we can. We may not be able to hug each other just yet, but we can still hug ourselves. And I'm going to come over and let you say goodbye.